here.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite detector of traps, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Toys R Us exclusive Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 2-pack Admiral Akbar from Force Awakens and First Order Officer, who we are calling Generic. That's his first name. I ordered these off Toys R Us's website as soon as they went up. Figure Toys R Us deserves all the help they can get these days, am I right? But they actually turned out being pretty good, so let's take a closer look. So we'll start with Generic. Why? Maybe it's because we're going to save Admiral Akbar for last. I know it's kind of a bummer to start with the bad guy instead of the good guy. It doesn't seem like the right move. And it's not that I love the Empire. I hate it, but... a friend bought it for me. So I brought out the Finn one. It looks like the hats are different, which I thought was interesting, but everything else is the same. So it's just a new head on this fella, and a new hat, oddly enough. But everything else, I mean, every wrinkle in the pants and so forth, but I'm not mad at that. Like, that's a good use of a repaint. I mean, you can crank these out. We can have a whole bunch of officers. I'm on board with that. So just so you know, let's talk about them. The head is... You know, we're still not using that paint yet. 2018, I know. They said be patient, I know. But, it's not terrible. It's clean. You know, it's just, you know, it's just hard. It's hard to really like it. The hair looks really well done. Like, it's just lined up. It's not sculpted. It's just painted on, but it gives like a real, you know, accurate kind of look. It looks like an airbrush that was used to paint it. Hat fits on fairly well. Lips are painted well. The head is on a ball hinge, so up to there, down, well, I think we can get a little bit more, down to there, and then the swivel, and we'll back out a little bit. And the articulation is going to be the same for Finn. He does come with this one accessory, which is a little pistol, and it fits in his holster, and it also can be held in his hand with no problem. And then he has another holding hand. You know how I feel about that. He's just always walking through life awkwardly. Yeah, okay. The pistol itself has some silver paint, and it's done okay. All right, so we'll talk about the detailings. Once again, much like the Finn. Oh, I'll tell you, this ball peg that's in his abdomen here, or in his in his abdomen, it was stuck too, just like the Finn was. I had to like kind of break it loose. Anyway. The little doodads there are painted on his chest. They don't seem to be painted as clean as Finn's were. Like, they're a little sloppy, like they're like little clips, like pins almost, that are going in there. Sculpt work is all great, as we talked about with Finn. The buckle here is painted well. We lost some white paint around the sleeve. That's an individual results will vary kind of thing. You see it got off track there as well on the backside. But other than that, it's pretty good. The glossy boots still look great. We'll fly through the articulation since we've already done it. Ball hinge, or disc hinge rather, for the shoulder gets you 90 degrees down and around. No bicep swivel, but you get it at the elbow with a single hinge that gets you a little bit past 90 degrees. Wrist swivel and hinge in out, I believe. Where's this one? Shoot, I can't even see it. There, yeah, it's in out. And same for the other side. Yes. And we have that ball peg there for the abdomen. T-jointed ball joints for hips. They get you out to there, back to there, forward and back to there. Thigh swivel at a cut joint. Double jointed knee. Not the prettiest at all. Really destroys the sculpt, but I guess it's fine. Ankle tilt up, down, and rocker. So, you know, all that you're getting new here is the face, which is, the sculpt is great, and the hair is painted really well. And I think the face is painted as good as you could expect it to be with the old style. I'm just kind of over the old style at this point. Like I said 1,000 times, I think at this point, those Marvel Legends have really shown me that, you know, there's better options out there. But all in all, you know, a pretty decent figure. And then Admiral Akbar, which I think most people were pretty excited about. The nice thing about this is that the head and hands and all that kind of stuff can be reused for a Return of the Jedi Akbar, you know, so that's pretty cool. The pistol we've seen before, maybe not. I think we may have. I can't remember. Either way, it's well enough sculpted, and you got a couple silver paint accents to go with it, so that's fine. The head, like the skin tone of this guy is beautifully painted. Like it looks like we got airbrushing, like almost. If not, it's like a digital kind of approach to it. Like the skin texture looks great throughout. They really knocked this out of the park, and the sculpt is fantastic. Tremendous job and tremendous effort. So the way they did this is the bottom jaw and the back of the neck is a floating piece that sits on the ball peg. And then the ball peg is like a hinge on a hinge. So you get the mouth open, which gets you the head back, but you can't have the head back and the mouth closed, which I think is okay. I think that's acceptable. And then down to there, so you can have it nice and closed, which looks good. And then you can swivel it a bit on both sides, but not much. And then the eyes are painted fairly well. You put some like glossy finish on there. I think that'll look really good. I think they did a great job with that head and the paint that goes along with it, same, so to speak. And the same with the arms and hands. They're just really, really, really well executed. Some of the best paint I've seen on a Black Series in a long time. Long time. Anyway, great job. We got a single ball peg here at the abdomen again. So you get down to there, up to there, sassy Akbar, and the swivel. Then this piece is like a floating piece in the sense that it's a different separate piece, but it's glued on. And that's all this stuff is well done, sculpted nicely. You got the brown paint that's really clean. You had this little, stripes there that are painted and sculpted well. And it's just simple. It's a simple figure, but it's really well done. Disc hinge gets you past 90 degrees. No bicep swivel once again, but you do get it at the elbow with a single hinge that gets you just about 90 degrees. I think it's perfectly 90. Wrist swivel, hinge in, out. Same for the other side, also hinge in, out. For the hips, T-joint and ball joints get you out to there. Forward and back to there. Thigh swivel. The pants are all textured, and the wrinkles and stuff in the pants all look great. Double jointed knee, not the prettiest, but not the worst either. The boots, painted. The top part is painted, sculpted beautifully, and it looks like it has some subtle shading on it as well, which looks pretty good. I could be wrong about that. It could be the light, casting shadows throwing off my view, but either way, it looks good. This is a little bit of an issue, not the biggest deal, but it's worth mentioning. The feet are very small. They're very small in proportion to his body, which does make it look right, because it was a little person kind of with the big old head on it and everything. Like I get that, like not a little person, but you know what I mean. And so there's little feet, but it does create like there he is standing, no problem. But I have had some problems getting him to stand here and there with the balance on these little fellas. So ankle tilt up, ankle tilt down, rocker. So no issues there. And there's a look at him from the back. This is a beautifully done figure. Like for a $20 price point, like I don't think you could ask for a whole lot more. It just checks all the boxes almost all the way down. Final thoughts wise, I think it's a really good set. Let me talk about the issues that I have. The face paint I still feel like we're ready to be updated. I'm being patient. I know, I get it. I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but that's just how I feel. I also can't stand the fact that he has two holding hands and only one weapon to hold and all that. We've gone through that before as well. So it's kind of the issues that I've had with Black Series kind of historically in the last year or so, I still have with this fella. But his articulation works very well, which isn't always the case with Black Series. And I love the paint for the hair. They did a great job there. For Akbar, the only thing I wish was that you could swivel the head a bit more. And that's really the only real complaint I have on that guy. I think they really knocked him out of the park. So, do I recommend it? Yes, and let me tell you why. The sculpts are fantastic for both. The paint is fantastic for Admiral Akbar. You can never have enough troopers and officers and stuff, so there's no issue with adding another one of those to your ranks. And then you need the good Admiral for your Force Awakens shelf. So luckily the Admiral was knocked out of the park, and this guy is kind of presentable, which is all you need him to be and all you need him to be. So they kind of did what they needed to do in order to make the box an efficient and effective set. So I tip my hat to them. I think they did a great job. I'm blown away by the paint on the skin tones for Admiral Akbar. I think they did just a wonderful job. I really tip my hat to them for that. And yeah, I think we got like maybe one more Star Wars review, and then there'll be a little bit of a Star Wars break. I got some other stuff coming in to take a look at. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.